Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to set up a Route 53 failover routing policy in AWS. So here's what we'll be doing in this demo. First, we'll launch two EC2 instances and configure both of them as web servers by installing Apache HTTP daemon. After that, we'll create a Route 53 health check. This allows Route 53 to continuously monitor our primary web server and verify that it's responding properly. The idea here is to build a simple active-passive setup. So one EC2 instance will act as the primary server, and the second one will stay on standby as the backup. When configuring Route 53 failover routing, we need to create a health check for each server to know its availability on certain port. Then we'll create the Route 53A records for both EC2 instances using a failover routing policy. And finally, we'll simulate a failure by stopping the primary EC2 instance and see if Route 53 automatically redirects traffic to the backup server. So basically, if the primary server becomes unavailable, Route 53 should detect that through the health check and start sending the traffic to the second instance. Alright, if you'd like to follow along, let's jump into the AWS console and get started. Alright, so from the AWS console, the first thing I'm going to do is search for EC2 and click on Launch Instance. I'll name the first instance as Web01. For the AMI, I will stick with Amazon Linux. The instance type will be T3 Micro. And for this demo, I will continue without a key pair. Now scrolling down to Network Settings, click on Edit. Under the Security Group section, I'm going to rename the security group to Web-DMZ. Scroll down. Now by default, AWS allows SSH access, but for this setup, we only need web traffic. So I will remove SSH rule and allow HTTP traffic on port 80 from anywhere. Now scroll all the way down, expand Advanced Details, and at the very bottom, you'll find the User Data section. This is where we can add Bootstrap script that automatically configures the server when the instance starts for the first time. I'm going to paste the script in here. The script is pretty straightforward. It updates the operating system packages, installs the Apache web server, creates a simple HTML page, starts the HTTPD service, and also makes sure the service starts automatically whenever the server reboots. Now in this script, after the welcome message, you can see it has the text, "This is Web01, which helps us to easily identify which server is responding. Alright, everything looks good. Let's go ahead and click Launch Instance. Next, I'm going to launch the second web server. So let me click on Instances and select Launch Instance. This time, I will call it Web02. For the AMI, keep Amazon Linux selected. The instance type will again be T3.micro. And just like before, we can continue without creating a key pair again. Now under Network Settings, click on Edit. Instead of creating a new security group, I'm going to select the existing one, which is WebDMZ. Next, scroll down to Advanced Details, expand that, then head all the way down to the User Data section, paste in the Bootstrap script again, and just make a small change in the script. This time, I'm going to update the web page text to say this is Web02. Alright, everything looks good. So I'll go ahead and click Launch Instance. Once that is done, select Instances at the top of the screen. And you can see both EC2 instances. I'll just wait for a few seconds for the instances to finish initializing and pass the status checks. Let me refresh. Alright, the status checks have passed. And once both EC2 instances are up and running, let's quickly verify that the web servers were installed successfully. First, I'm going to test Web01, so select the instance ID, copy the public IPv4 address, Open a new browser tab, paste in the IP address, and hit enter. And there we go. It shows hello world. This is web01. Now let's do the same thing for web02. Go back to the instances. Select web02 instance ID. Copy the public IP address. Open another tab, paste in the IP, and hit enter. And there we go. This one is showing this is web02. All right. Both web servers are working properly. I'm just going to close these browser tabs now, so things don't get confusing later during the failover testing. All right, next, let's search for Route 53. I'm going to open that in a new tab. If this warning message shows up, it can be ignored for this demo. Now from the left-hand menu, select Hosted Zones. By the way, a hosted zone has already been created for this lab setup. So I will open up this hosted zone. And inside this, there should already be an NS record and an SOA record created automatically. All right, next, let's create a health check. From the left-hand menu, select Health Checks. Then click Create Health Check. This health check is basically going to monitor the web servers and verify whether they are healthy or not. First, enter a name for health check. I will call this Web01 Health Check. For the resource, I'm going to keep endpoint selected. And for the endpoint type, I'm going to keep IP address selected. And the protocol will be HTTP. Now for the IP address, it needs to be the public IP of Web01. So let's quickly head back to the EC2 console. Go to Instances. Select Web01 Instance ID. Copy the public IPv4 address. Back in Route 53. Paste the IP address here. Okay, expand Advanced Configuration. Now there are a couple of settings worth looking at. The first one is the request interval. By default, Route 53 checks every 30 seconds, but I'm going to change this to check every 10 seconds. Next is the failure threshold. This setting controls how many failed checks need to happen before Route 53 marks the server as unhealthy. I'm going to set this to 1. So failover happens faster during the demo. Everything else can stay as default. All right, so scroll all the way down and click on Create Health Check. All right, that's the first health check created for Web01. Now the same exact process needs to be repeated for Web02. So let me click on Health Checks again. Click on Create Health Check. This time the name will be Web02 Health Check. Just like before, I will keep the endpoint selected for resource. For the endpoint type, I will keep IP address selected. Now the IP address needs to be the public IP of Web02. So head back to the instances page, deselect Web01 and select Web02. Copy the public IPv4 address, then come back to Route 53 and paste the IP address here. Now under Advanced Configuration, change the request interval to 10 seconds, then set the failure threshold to 1. Scroll all the way down and click on Create Health Check. Now let me click on Health Checks again. All right, you can see both of my health checks have been created. Now it can take a couple of minutes for Route 53 to finish configuring everything and start validating the health checks. Just wait for a few seconds. Let me click on Refresh. All right, you can see the status. It shows healthy for both health checks. All right, now everything is ready for Route 53 failover setup. Let me click on Route 53. So let's create the A record with the failover routing policy. So I'm going to head back to Hosted Zones and open the Hosted Zone again. Right now, only the default NS and SOA records should be visible. So I'm going to click on Create Record. For the record name, I will leave it blank because this record is going to be created for the root domain itself. The record type will be an A record. And for the value, use the public IP address of Web01 since it's going to be the primary web server. So let's quickly go back to the EC2 console, select Web01, copy the public IPv4 address, and paste it into the value field. Scroll down. Now for TTL, the default is usually 300 seconds. I'm going to reduce this to 10 seconds. so failover happens faster during the demo. Next, under routing policy, select failover. For the failover record type, choose primary because this is the active server. Then under health check ID, select web01 health check. And for the record ID, I will just enter 1. Alright, we still need to add the secondary record. So click on add another record. Again, leave the record name blank. The record type will stay as a record. Now for the value, enter the public IP address of web02. So back in the EC2 console, deselect web01 and select web02. Copy the public IP address and paste here. Set the TTL to 10 seconds again. Under routing policy, select failover. This time for the failover record type, choose secondary. Then select web02 health check for the health check. And for the record ID, enter 2. Alright, everything looks good now. So click create records. And Route 53 will now start propagating these DNS changes, which usually takes around 60 seconds. Now the website should be accessible using the domain name instead of the public IP address. So I'm going to copy the domain name, open a new browser tab, paste it in, and hit enter. And you can see the request lands on web01, which is the primary server. So the page is loading from web01. Now it's time to test the failover setup. The easiest way to do that is by stopping the primary EC2 instance and seeing whether Route 53 redirects traffic to the secondary server automatically. So let's head back to the EC2 console, deselect web02 and make sure web01 is selected. Then click instance state and choose stop instance and click on stop. Alright, now the instance state is changing to stopping. Let me click refresh. Okay, the instance has stopped. Now let's go back to Route 53. From the left-hand menu, select health checks. Now just wait a couple of minutes and keep refreshing the page. At this point, Route 53 still thinks that the server is healthy, so it may take a little time before failover happens. And there we go. After a few seconds, the web01 health check status has changed to unhealthy. Now if I go back to the browser tab where it opened the page from web01 and refresh the page, there we go. Now the request is being routed to web02 instead. So the failover routing policy is working correctly, and Route 53 automatically redirected traffic to the secondary web server once the primary server became unhealthy. Okay, if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee using the link in the description. Use the thanks button below or support directly via PhonePe using the number shown on the screen. It really helps me keep making content like this. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.